The devs sell cheats. You've likely seen this before. It's not exclusive to Krafton. Pretty much any competitive game that's out there has this being repeated in the discussions around the various games. It's supposed to explain why there's so many cheaters. The devs must be selling the cheats themselves, right? Well, no, I don't think so. While I know many honestly think this is true, while I can't absolutely disprove it, I can raise some serious doubts as to why this doesn't really make sense. Before I do, though, consider this quote by famed American author Mark Twain. How easy it is to make people believe a lie and how hard it is to undo that work again. It's saying that once a lie is established, it's much harder to convince someone that they've been lied to. The key reason is that they have to admit to themselves that they've been tricked. That's hard to do for a lot of people. You see it sometimes on those scam exposure videos. Even after exposing the scammer, sometimes the victim of the scam can't accept they were tricked. So keep an open mind. I have a feeling that the devs sell cheats belief being debunked is going to really challenge some perceptions in my audience. So here's why I think this is being said over and over for various different games, including PUBG. Its origins come from those selling the cheat software. Let me explain. As part of the advertising for the cheat software, they try and make it look as though it's endorsed by the developer. I've seen advertisements myself, firsthand in Chinese, clearly saying things like official, trying to pass off that their cheats are endorsed by the developer. The sellers will basically say anything to attract buyers. I can't show or link these sites because my channel be seen as advertising cheats. So what I think happens here is those that are gullible see this and repeat it. You know, Krafton sell the cheats, right? There's official cheats for sale, is what they'd say. And this is told over and over. It's easily believed because there's so many cheaters. And with so many people saying it all the time, it must be true. It's a big fat lie. When you repeat this, you are helping cheat sellers get more sales. They sell more cheats when their cheating customers think the developer is in on it. It also doesn't make any sense. As part of the research I do into the cheating topic, I check out some cheat sellers, and it's rare that I find ones that sell just cheats for one game. In most cases, they have a whole variety of cheats for various different games bridging multiple developers. So is Activision, EA, and Epic all in on it too? Are they selling cheats as well? How many people across the industry are involved in this cover-up? There's potentially tens of thousands, and every single one of them never spills the beans. Let's pretend for a minute that Krafton is selling cheats, and they are raking in huge amounts of money like some claim. How are they going to hide the revenue from their shareholders? Investors have a right to know how a company they've invested in is able to make money, and they would have a right to that money. So the only way that this could work is if the Krafton CEO is involved in a massive fraud against the shareholders. This is a crime and has serious consequences for all involved. Why would anybody take this risk? Do you see now how ridiculous this would be if it was true? Krafton already have a legal business selling loot boxes and skins that makes billions. Why would you risk that and jail time to sell cheats on the side? When you apply critical thinking to this, it just doesn't make sense. I do think that there's always the possibility of a rogue employee selling inside information to the cheat developers. It may have happened before, but this is not the action of the developer Krafton. Such things will be policed internally in an organization, and if detected, it won't be something that is discussed externally. This type of activity has a name. It's called corporate espionage. It's typically carried out by individuals or a small amount of people. They work against the interests of the organization that they are working for. The reason I'm saying this is that there have been times where a big anti-cheat update like Fog of War seemed to be instantly undermined with day one hacks. So I acknowledge the outside chance corporate espionage might happen, but when I hear devs sell cheats, I interpret that as the developer Krafton, and not any individuals that may have gone rogue. So if the devs aren't selling the cheats, how come there's so many cheaters? How can you explain how so many cheat software developers are able to create software to hack into the game? They must have inside information, right? It's complicated, but two key reasons why they are able to so easily get access to critical areas of the game are: 1. The game runs on Windows, the environment isn't super secure, and cheat developers can get access to the key information and exploit it. 2. The game is developed on Unreal Engine 4. There's plenty of non-Krafton developers that know this engine. Cheat developers can exploit the engine, which is not proprietary to Krafton. In other words, too many people outside of Krafton know sensitive information about how the game runs on both Windows and Unreal Engine 4. This is pretty much the same challenge on most games. Most developers don't build the game from the ground up. They've had to use an engine as the foundation of their game. This allows them to find trained developers faster. It also means that there's potentially a large pool of developers that might try and hack the game. So yes, this makes it hard to control the amount of cheaters in your game. But it doesn't excuse the developer from having huge levels of cheaters infesting the game. There's a responsibility with the developer to keep the cheating under control. Clearly, with 8 million bans last year, the levels of cheating on this game are far beyond what other games are having to deal with. On one hand, purging 8 million accounts involved with cheating sounds like a huge success. But the cheaters seem determined to just keep cheating. And there's plenty of others that seem to be immune from being banned, despite being very obvious with their cheating. The rumor that the devs sell cheats obviously doesn't help either, likely bringing in more and more fringe cheaters thinking that this is the only way to play the game. I personally think that the temp bans are bad too. They give warnings to blatant cheaters instead of getting rid of them and limiting the damage that they do. There's virtually no detection at all for teaming, and I can't ever remember when no recoil scripts were ever cracked down on. Yes, it's a difficult and exhausting battle that will never end, but that's why anti-cheat developers are paid the big bucks. Of course, that's an assumption. They may have been stripped back due to the AI-first policy. Again, this was a decision made by Krafton, so if it makes cheating worse, it's their own fault, like when going free-to-play was a gift to those that cheat. Thank you for watching through this far, and I hope this made sense and highlighted how the whole devs sell cheats rumor only helps those that cheat. Did this make sense to you, or do you still think that Krafton is secretly selling cheats on the side still? Let me know in the comments below, either way.